Welcome back to another Digit Trends Deep Dive, and wow, we have a doozy of a topic to dive into today.
I know, right? Project Stargate, huh?
It's got the whole tech world buzzing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
President Trump drops this bombshell announcement about this, massive AI infrastructure project. And we are not talking chump change here, folks.
Oh, no.
We are talking potentially $500 billion with a B.
That's not just an investment.
Yeah.
It's a statement.
Right.
It's like America saying, we're all in on AI.
Yeah, and to make things even spicier, he's got some of the biggest names in tech right there with him.
Yeah, the who's who of Silicon Valley.
So in this deep dive, we're going to break it all down for you.
Right.
What exactly is Project Stargate?
Right.
Who are the players, and what could this mean for America, the tech landscape, and yeah, even for you.
Sounds like a plan.
So let's rewind to January 21st, 2025. Picture this. The White House President Trump at the podium.
Okay.
And flanking him, tech CEOs like 𝗍𝗂𝗍𝗄𝗎, son of SoftBank.
Oh, wow.
Sam Altman, OpenAI, the ChatGPT guys. And Larry Ellison of Oracle.
Big smiles, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Big smiles, firm handshakes, the whole 9 yards. It was definitely a power move.
Absolutely. A carefully choreographed show of force. I'd say it's a pretty clear signal that the government and the tech industry are teaming up.
Totally. And they weren't just there for the photo op either. Yeah. They announced a $100 billion initial investment for this thing.
Wow.
With the potential to hit that $500 billion mark.
Yeah, over the next 4 years. It's unprecedented.
Unprecedented, and get this construction on these massive data centers has already begun.
Oh, wow. They're not wasting any time.
Nope. First one up, a 1 million square foot facility in Texas.
That's interesting. Makes sense, though, right?
Yeah.
Lots of business-friendly regulations there and all that renewable energy.
Oh, yeah. They're going to need a ton of power to run these things.
Yeah, these data centers are energy hogs.
So who are the masterminds behind this mega project?
Okay, let's break it down.
Right. So you've got OpenAI, SoftBank, Oracle, and then this kind of under-the-radar investment group, MGX.
Okay, so OpenAI, they're the brains behind ChatGPT, so they're basically in charge of the AI side of things.
Right, the brains of the operation. Then there's SoftBank with Sun calling the shots on the financial side.
Well, they're going to need deep pockets, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Oracle brings their cloud infrastructure expertise.
Right. They're basically building the backbone for this whole AI ecosystem.
Yeah, and it's interesting because OpenAI has been pretty reliant on Microsoft's Azure cloud in the past. But this seems like they're making a move to build their own independent setup.
Bold move for sure.
Right. And then you've got other heavy hitters like ARM, Microsoft, NVIDIA, all lending their specific skills.
Right. It's like they've assembled the Avengers of tech.
It really is, but it feels like it's even bigger than just a tech project, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is about national strategy. America wants to be top dog in the AI game.
Right. It's all about countering China's growing AI influence and staying ahead in the economic race.
It's like the space race, but with algorithms and data instead of rockets and astronauts.
Yeah, good analogy. And, Sam Altman, OpenAI CEO, he didn't hold back. He called Project Stargate the most important project of this era.
Wow. Yeah. That's a pretty bold statement, but I can see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, AI has the potential to change everything, right?
Everything from global power to how we work, even how we live.
Exactly.
So what are they hoping to get out of all this?
Well, they're projecting some pretty impressive benefits.
Okay, what kind of benefits are we talking about?
Well, for one, job creation, they're saying Project Stargate could create up to 100,000 new jobs.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, and Ellison even hinted at some potential breakthroughs in healthcare.
Oh, really? Like what?
He specifically mentioned AI being used to, map individual genetic vulnerabilities, allowing for custom-designed vaccines and treatments.
That's wild. That's way beyond the one-size-fits-all medicine we have now.
Right. It sounds pretty sci-fi, but also kind of amazing.
It does have the potential to totally revolutionize healthcare.
Yeah, no doubt.
But of course, it's not all sunshine and roses. Right, there's always another side to the story.
Exactly. And in part 2, we're going to take a look at some of the concerns and potential downsides of Project Stargate. Stay tuned. I mean, any project this big is going to have its critics.
Right, and some people are pretty worried about Trump's decision to, roll back those Biden-era AI regulations.
Yeah, that's definitely raised some red flags. Some folks say deregulation will speed up innovation, which is good, but others are worried about what could happen with less oversight.
Yeah, it's a tough call, right? Balancing progress with safety.
Exactly. And then there's the whole issue of influence Some people are uneasy about private companies having so much power over something this important.
Right. I mean, this is shaping the future of AI we're talking about, which affects everyone.
Right, exactly. And, it makes you think about that Foxconn deal back in 2017, all those big promises, but things didn't really pan out the way people hoped.
Yeah, it's definitely a good reminder to be cautiously optimistic about Stargate. We'll see how it all plays out.
Exactly. It's still early days.
And, it's not just Americans who are paying attention. The whole world's watching, and reactions are kind of all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Project Stargate has definitely made some waves internationally. China sees it as a direct threat to their own AI goals.
Yeah, for sure. And the EU's kind of scrambling, trying to figure out how to keep up while still sticking to their own ethical guidelines for AI.
Right. And then you've got developing nations worried about being left behind in the AI race.
So it's like we've got this project with the potential to, change industries, maybe even cure diseases and tip the balance of global power. But there are also these huge unknowns, these potential risks.
Right. And that's where things get really interesting, because this isn't just about technology anymore. It's about humanity. What do we want AI to look like in our lives? How do we make sure it's used for good?
It feels like we're standing at a crossroads.
Yeah.
One path leads to this utopian future where AI solves all our problems, makes life easier, brings in a new era of prosperity.
Yeah.
But then the other path, that's the dystopian scenario, where AI takes over jobs, erodes our privacy, maybe even threatens our existence.
It's easy to get caught up in the hype or the fear, but the reality is probably somewhere in between.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to have these conversations, to really look at the nuances, approach AI with a sense of wonder, but also a healthy dose of skepticism.
Right. So let's bring this back to our listeners for a second. Why should they care about Project Stargate?
Because AI isn't some far-off fantasy anymore. It's here. It's already weaving itself into our lives.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. It's the algorithms that decide what you see on social media, the virtual assistants that answer your questions, the self-driving cars that are starting to pop up everywhere.
And Project Stargate, with all that money and those ambitious goals, it's just going to speed things up even more.
So whether you love it or hate it, AI is going to have a huge impact on our lives, our jobs, our whole society.
It's like the new electricity. Like electricity changed the world in the 20th century. AI is going to do the same thing in the 21st century. It's going to touch every industry, every profession, every part of our lives.
So even if you're not a tech whiz, even if you don't get all the details about AI, it's important to stay informed.
Absolutely, because this isn't just about technology. It's about the future of humanity.
And the choices we make today are going to shape that future.
Okay, so we've talked about the scale of Project Stargate, the players involved, the potential benefits and the concerns, but let's get down to brass tacks. How could AI actually affect your life for better or for worse?
Yeah, let's start with the job market. AI is getting smarter all the time, right?
Oh, yeah, leaps and bounds. And as it does, it's going to be able to automate more and more tasks, even jobs we thought only humans could do.
Right. Like, what are we talking about here?
We've already got self-driving trucks out there, right?
Yeah.
AI-powered financial trading algorithms, even robots writing news articles.
Wow. So those are all jobs that humans used to do.
Exactly. And AI is taking over.
So what does that mean for, the average person? Are we all going to be replaced by robots?
It's not quite that black and white. Some jobs will definitely be lost, no doubt. But AI will also create new jobs, new industries that we can't even imagine yet.
So it's not all doom and gloom.
No, the key is to adapt, learn skills that work with AI, not against it.
So instead of being afraid of the robots, we need to figure out how to team up with them.
Right. Think of it as a partnership. AI can handle the boring, repetitive stuff, leaving humans free to focus on things that require creativity, critical thinking, those uniquely human skills.
Okay, so that's the job market. But what about other parts of our lives? How could AI impact things like healthcare education, even our relationships?
We'll take healthcare, for example. We talked about personalized medicine earlier, but AI could totally revolutionize healthcare in so many ways.
Okay, how so?
Imagine AI-powered diagnostic tools that can spot diseases way earlier than human doctors, or AI-assisted surgery that's more precise and less invasive.
And what about developing new drugs? Could AI help us find cures for diseases like cancer or Alzheimer's?
Absolutely. AI can analyze huge amounts of data, like genetic information and medical records, and find patterns and potential drug targets that humans would never be able to see.
Wow, it sounds like AI could usher in a whole new golden age of medicine.
It really could. But there are ethical challenges, too, like who gets access to these AI healthcare tools? How do we make sure they're used fairly and don't just benefit the wealthy?
Right, technology is one thing, but we have to think about the human side of it too.
Exactly. And that brings us back to why these conversations are so important. You know, raising awareness about AI and making sure everyone has a voice in how it's developed and used.
Because the future of AI isn't something that should be decided by just a few companies or government officials. It's something we all need to shape together.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Project Stargate, we want to leave you with this thought.
The future isn't set in stone. We have the power to choose the path we want to take.
Do we want AI to be a force for good, helping us solve problems and make the world a better place? Or do we let fear take over and let AI control us, divide us, dehumanize us?
The choice is ours. Let's make it a good one.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Project Stargate. We hope you found it informative, thought-provoking, and maybe even a little bit inspiring.
Stay curious, stay engaged, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the world of emerging tech.
Stay ahead, stay informed, stay relevant.